Before we get started with today's show, I just want to remind you that you can save 10% on your order with Symphony of Balloons, a luxury balloon company that also offers a 360 camera. Just simply mention you heard about them on Breaking Through Glass Ceilings. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Breaking Through Glass Ceilings with Uncomfortable Conversations. I'm your host, Brian H. Waters. This show is brought to you by B. Waters Productions, where we preserve your life memories in HD. Haven't said that in a while. I actually came up with that line. 2008, I was riding. 2007, actually, the end of 2007, I was going to create my own production company. And I still do it. So if you need some videos edited, need a photo shoot, need somebody to shoot your event, I'm your guy. But today we're going to talk about a few trending things. Let's get started with the one that's been, well, I don't know now at this point. As I record early Saturday morning, as we're in the wee hours, 1 a.m. Um, LeBron James Jr. was drafted to the Los Angeles Lakers, my Los Angeles Lakers, with the 55th pick. That is the second pick of the NBA draft. And there's a lot of discussion. You hear the word nepotism being thrown around because he's LeBron James' son. LeBron James is a member of the Los Angeles Lakers who I believe may have, like, in his contract situation where he can opt in or maybe he can restructure or what have you. But nonetheless, everybody's complaining. Oh, it's nepotism this, nepotism that. Now, here's the thing, folks. Be mad if LeBron James Jr. was drafted in the first round. Be mad if LeBron James Jr. was picked first. I wasn't aware on how good Lonzo Ball was. And I remember asking people, I said, is Lonzo Ball is he really this good? Did his father talk him up? And I was told, no, he's really that good. That's why his father talks, and he would be at that pick regardless. LeBron James has made it known for years that it was a goal of his to play for his son, and why not? Right? He's won the NBA MVP. He's won 4 NBA championships. He won a championship in Cleveland, which had never been done before. He went to Los Angeles and brought the Lakers back a championship. So you look at it, every team he's played for, or I should say, every franchise he's played for, he's brought them a championship. So what's the problem? And sometimes, let's have some nice things. Now, I know a lot of people have been talking about the fact that, there's a nepotism all over sports. Look at Jerry Jones. You see all his kids are employed. And here's the thing. You do have people who say, well, I make my child learn the business from the ground up. But they still get inherited that business. There are certain Nepo babies that get things handed to them, but then there are certain ones that they still had to learn everything. But it is a goal. You want to give your child something. You want to provide your child with an opportunity. So I think it's pretty cool that LeBron James Jr. or Bronny James, as we'll call him for the rest of the show, was drafted. And I think it was cool that he was drafted to the Lakers. Ken Griffey Jr. played for the Seattle Mariners. His dad was a longtime MLB player. He played for the Cincinnati Reds. He played for the New York Yankees. And then he went to the Seattle Mariners. Now, Junior was already with the Mariners, and they got Griffey Sr. And first of all, I think it's phenomenal when the child and their father can play in the league at the same time. You know, I wouldn't say that. No, there was times people thought I was a nepo baby in church. Here's the thing. Let me give you a little insight. So I'll tell you a story. So I was a church drummer at 12 years old, but it happened because my dad. Actually, I started at 11. My dad was the bass guitar player, and every week after my uncle, shout out to my uncle Troy, but After Troy left, there were not any consistent drummers, right? You had some people come in and play maybe at most 6 to 8 months, but there wasn't a consistent person to sit at that throne where you knew every Sunday they were going to be there, right? Well, I started one youth day. My mother said, "Hey, we want to, I'm gonna let the youth do a little, play some instruments." She said, "You want to play drums?" Now I had learned how to keep a beat. Troy taught me when I was 5 years old. He sat me down, um, had me playing to gospel tapes, and that's how I learned the craft. And for my 8th grade graduation, my parents, I say 8th grade. Well, actually, let me start. Kindergarten graduation, I got a little drum set, a little 3 piece, added on to it a little bit here and there. But for my 8th grade graduation, by this time I'm already playing drums, and I got a drum set. I actually have that drum set still. But the thing is, my dad was playing. Like I said, my mother did put me in that position, right? All of a sudden, all of a sudden, let's get real. Everybody in the church was a drum expert. Everybody said, "Oh, you need to give this child a chance," because there was another person in the church who he wanted to play drums. Now, we at most boys in church, that's the first instrument they gravitate towards. We're keeping it real. Most boys will be in church and they look at, I want to play drums. I want to play drums because it's the loudest, the noisiest, the sexiest instrument. It's boom, 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 right? And I was playing, and so my mother said, for youth day, you'll play. But then all of a sudden, this other kid, he wanted to play too. And for all fairness, he was also one of them kids who would bring his drumsticks or whatever, but not all the time. So we split the time, right? Well, remember I told you it was a revolving door. So on this particular Sunday, after youth day, the next Sunday, my one of my drumming mentors, Mr. Mike, couldn't make it. Um, so my dad said, "Hey, Mr. Mike not gonna be there. Can you fill in?" Sure. I'm excited. Now was terrible. I was terrible, but I got through it. The next Sunday, same thing, right? And it was just following the beat. Couldn't do none of that. Some people call them fillings. Some people call them rolls. I couldn't do none of that. So I played the drums, and then after that, a few Sundays later, Mr. Mike came back. So I was like, "Oh man, I'm going back to the usher board." Mr. Mike said, "Nope, stay right here." And from then on, he eventually joined another church. But then every time you turned around, somebody said, "Oh, well, you should come play." Or maybe this person should get a chance, and that person should get a chance. I'm like, well, y'all don't say that about the organist. Y'all don't say that about the guitarist, but y'all always say it about the drums, right? And then people say, "Oh, it's only because his father's playing." Well, yeah, I was dependable. He knew he could wake me up, say, "Hey, we're going to church. You're gonna be there." And eventually, we would have a run that would last, whatever. We played, I was the next person in that seat until I left and then came back and all that other stuff. But I say that to say when it comes to nepotism, there's always that word being thrown around, but you have to do the work. Now, I'm excited about LeBron James Jr. and LeBron James being on the same team. I hope and I hope Bronny James goes through and shocks everybody in this league. I hope because all the experts know everything, right? You know, I hope he goes out there and puts in the work and he has multiple assists, multiple 20-point games, and all of a sudden he's a rookie of the year candidate, or maybe 2 or 3 years down the line, he's an all-star. I really want that for Bronny James Jr. One, because this kid has battled back. We omit the fact that last year he was having, cardiac issues, right? No, everybody want to talk about nepotism. How about the story that he battled back and got back in to be able to play basketball? That's what's exciting, you know. And LeBron James, who's going to be yeah, he's going to be 40 this year. I think it's incredible. I do. I think it's incredible. He's going to be playing with his son, and It's because you just don't see this all the time, you know. Now, one thing that was funny, Bryce James, the one that LeBron has gone on, wishing him a happy birthday post one time. He said the best shooter in the family. A lot of people say Bryce is better. I've heard that. I don't know. But um he was on a Twitch or Instagram live or something. He was, doing what kids do. And he talked about somebody said, "You think your dad would stay around and play until you play?" He said, "No, no." Like he tried to, like he was very dismissive, like that's crazy. Uh, it's ridiculous. And he said, "Bro, yeah." And then his boy who was he said, "Well, wait a minute. With your dad, if you go one and done, it's possible." And he said, "No, man, he'd be like 42." So me doing my research, I wanted to look up something. Who are players that played at 42 or above? Right? A lot of players played until their 40s. So, players that played at 42, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the person who LeBron passed for the all-time scorers list, Dikembe Mutombo, and the guy who just retired, Udonis Haslem. But at 43, we have Robert Parrish and Vince Carter. 44, Kevin Willis, and the oldest player ever to play in an NBA game was Nat Hickey. Now, Nat Hickey was just 2 days away from turning 46. He was a coach, but he activated himself. So, it's very possible LeBron James could play with Bryce. Actually, I hope that happens. I mean, here's the thing about all these players. None of them was playing at a high level the way LeBron James is, right? Like, if anybody, it would be Kareem. And because I said that, I have to look up his stats. So his last year, he averaged 10.1 points a game. That was at the age of 41. At the age of 40, he averaged 14.6 points a game. So let's apples to apples, right? Now, he was an all-star throughout these years. He's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right? He couldn't stop the skyhook. In 87, 86, 87, at the age of 39, he averaged 17.5 points a game. So, and not to mention, he would win championships his last two, well, not the last 2 years, but in 87 and 88. So, who knows? Again, LeBron James is playing at a higher level. He's the guy on the Lakers. Yeah, we could say Anthony Davis or whatnot, but LeBron James is the guy. He looks like the guy who defeated Father Time. You know, we look at football, and there was Tom Brady. And, as I get ready to pull up his stats, Tom Brady played till he was 45 years old. And guess what? There's no denying Tom Brady was still playing at a high level. Now, I also understand the difference. LeBron James has been playing since he was 18 in the league, but who cares? I want to see it. Can LeBron James go all the way? Can he play until Bryce James comes? Will Bryce James be a Laker too? Who knows? But it's so cool that we get to see this. Let's take part and really enjoy history. Yes, Thursday history was made. Now, I was critical on Twitter. Why did this need to have 2 nights for the draft, right? Why did we need that? And then Bronny James wasn't there. I wish he would have went to the draft. It would have been cool to see him walk up and get his jersey. But I mean, here we are. Bronny James, congratulations. You earned it, kid. You battled back. Now prove all the haters wrong. Become an all-star. Be the best 55th pick draft ever. Let's see if there's any notable 55th picks in the NBA. Patty Mills, that he's known as the best. And then there's also, yeah, we'll just say Patty Mills. So Patty Mills is the most notable 55th pick. Let's make it Bronny James. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support this podcast by wearing a t-shirt, whether it's the one that says breaking through glass ceilings or the one that says no ceilings above success, simply go to foryourwear.com Also, you can support some of your other favorite podcasts and content creators, including Those Wrestling Girls, Seahawk, and the Wrestling Club. And you can support some of your favorite independent wrestlers, including Jay Bougie, Trisha Dora, Chaz the Dawn. Shoot, all the Pure Ignorance is on there. So go on foryourwear.com, go under personalities, you'll find Brian H. Waters, and buy a t-shirt. And remember, I'll give you a shout out on the show. Are you in the gym every week? Are you looking to kind of keep yourself cool while you work up a nasty sweat? Well, I got the best thing for you. Cooling bands, bandanas, cooling towels, and so much more. Go to Vertical Athletics, get your favorite team in MLS or MLB, or guess what? Now they have a custom option so you can upload your own logo and you can save 10% at checkout when you enter the code Brian H. Waters. Go to verticalathletics.com, use the code Brian H. Waters to save 10% on some of your best cooling gear. Folks, Donald Trump talked about black jobs. If you watched the debate, you heard that word. Or if you didn't watch the debate, you saw it all over X. And I thought that was funny. But there's always Black Twitter. And Black Twitter made a list after different responses, right? The number one was NFL cornerback. And I was like, wait, there has been some white cornerbacks, but I guess that's a black position. Security for a strip club. Um, I'm gonna just go through some. You know what? I'm gonna go through some that maybe or may y'all can take a guess whether or not I have done this. Call center. Um, wow, parking lot security, Waffle House cook, club promoter, bottle girl, truck driver, hype man, woman who does braids, selling plates, what a TSA agent, that's interesting. Crossing guard, black grandmother babysitting, notary. Notary is a job. Supervisor when supervisor ain't there. Veneer tech. Upcoming rapper posting a video under tweets. Forklift driver, sexy red. Uh, Zeus producer, weaveologist. And the list goes on and on. NFL safety is one. Popeye's cashier. Kardashian baby daddy. Head of HR. Mayor. Wow, the mayor. And manager at T-Mobile. Those are just some. It's like over 105 on that thread, and then you just see people going across Twitter. Uh, Look, one thing about Donald Trump, he gonna be entertaining. And when I heard it, I was like, wow, he really repeated himself. Like, not only did he say, like, um, not only did he say, yeah, black jobs, Hispanic jobs, but he said it again. It was like, okay, this wasn't a slip up. And saying that Joe Biden opening the borders, allowing illegal immigrants to take the black jobs. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting, Donald. But he could be the next president of the United States. I don't do politics on here because I don't follow it enough to know. But I do vote, and I talk about some of the dramatics, the trending stuff on Twitter. I mentioned earlier this year. Was it this year? No, yeah. When they called the mayor a DEI mayor, that was after the Chesapeake, no, the Francis Scott Key Bridge fell. The Key Bridge, as we call it, when that collapsed, they said Baltimore's DEI mayor. Um, and then he even went on threads and said, "Well, I'm a DEI mayor with my black job." Um, yeah, it's just one of those things. Black people, we gonna make fun of everything. We'll take it seriously when we want to, but it's hey man, do your black job. But it looks like I don't know. After that debate, are we doomed when we look at our next president? I don't know. I don't know. Vote, people. Please vote. Even if everybody got on the independent train or something, just vote. We gotta do something. I don't know. But oh man, it's been a wild one these past couple of days. Like I said, waking up during the afternoon, Thursday afternoon was LeBron James Jr. getting drafted, and then Thursday night the debate. And another thing about the NBA draft, I just want to say, I heard a whole bunch of this is a weak draft class and all this. I'm like, well, what's making this so weak? Are you telling me? And I said, did God take a day off? I mean, a year off when He made talent? Like everybody's like, oh, there's no games, franchise changers and whatnot. I'm looking to see. I want to see some steals. I hope everybody eat crow. I don't follow the NBA draft, but I just find it hard to believe that nobody there is going to make a huge impact. Like, yeah, like I said, just a whole year off where nobody's going to do nothing. I think everybody just got sucked up into the Bronny James hype, and maybe everybody was hoping that by the time Bronny James was drafted, he would have been like a this dynamic blow away superstar or whatever. But I'll just say this: shout out to LeBron James, shout out to Bronny James. Michael Jordan could never. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on this week's episode of Breaking Through Glass Ceilings. I'll probably be back soon, but make sure you subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all the new subscribers to the YouTube channel. Thank you to all the new subscribers to the podcast. Also, TikTok. I've been seeing a lot of people over there following my TikTok, so I appreciate it. Shout out to my cousin, Shane Wayne Blogs, who, been back and up and rolling, doing his thing. I appreciate each and every one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, do not let anybody place a ceiling above your success. So long, everybody. Are you a podcaster who is looking to share clips from your show in the simplest way possible? Well, I have the best solution, and that's Opus Clip. Opus Clip allows you to take the link to your show, upload it, and then they will clip off some of the best moments. And it allows you to edit it, change the captions, change the colors, and they also give you a viral score so you know which clip can potentially generate more buzz for your show. So, if you're looking to do that, click the link in the bio, sign up for Opus Clip, and go viral with some of the best content from your show. Podcasters and gamers, we all know it can be intense. We're talking, we're getting hyped, we're passionate. Sometimes we need a boost. Well, you can get that by getting Rogue Energy. Rogue Energy is the #1 supplement for podcasters and gamers, and they have tons of different flavors, including Strawberry Burst, Tropical Breeze, and Cotton Candy. And you can save 10% by putting in the code BrianH at checkout. So go to rogueenergy.com and enter the code BrianH to save money.